Namaste students. Uh, we are on the chapter called directing, and today we discuss about motivation. And in the last session we discussed about what is supervision. What is supervision? Supervision is nothing but overseeing or monitoring the work done by their subordinates. What our subordinates are doing, whether they are moving towards the right way, or if not, it is the duty of the supervision. He has to direct them in a proper way. Then also we have seen what are the importance of supervision, why supervision is essential. Then we move towards yesterday, that is motivation. There we discussed what is motivation and what are the three terms included with motivation. That is, first one, it is motive. Motive is nothing but it's a urge of a particular person. For example, we can give hunger, thirsty. These are the motive. It arises out of the needs. It arises out of needs of an individual. Motive will arises. For example, thirsty, hunger. These are the example for motive. Then we move towards the motivation. What is motivation? The process of stimulating. The process of stimulating to move towards the accomplishment of any of the target. For example, I am hungry. What I have to do? I have to have food. That what stimulates us? It is the process of stimulating particular individual to satisfaction of particular needs or satisfaction of particular goals or target. That process we call it as motivation. Then comes motivator. What is a motivator? Motivator is technique. Motivator is a technique. The particular thing, by seeing that particular thing, we get motivated. That particular factor or the technique, we call it as a motivator. Now, today we discuss in case of motivation. As I said, it's a bit vast topic. Motivation is vast topic. So today we will discuss the features and also importance of motivation. Now, what is motivation? It is a process of stimulating people to action to accomplish desired goals. It is a process of stimulating the people. Stimulating is nothing but encouraging or making him to move towards something, or moving towards something, or encouraging or inspiring. That we call it as stimulating. It is a process of stimulating people to accomplish the desired goals, to move towards the completion of particular task, or to move towards the completion of particular goal or target. That process we call it as motivation. And when we see motivation, there are some features of motivation. We'll see what are the features of motivation. There comes first one, it is an internal feeling. We know that motivation is an internal feeling, or it's an internal urge. We cannot find a reason for that. Some of our needs of a human beings might be the reason for that particular feeling. For example, we want to have a good job in a particular company, or we want to get recognized, or we expect that we have to be we need to be getting to a reputed college. We need to get admitted into a reputed college, or we have to get a good job in a good company, and we also expect particular status we should have some status in the society. Other people should recognize us, and other people should like us. And I want to buy a bike, or I want to buy this particular car, or I want to have our comfortable house. These are all needs. These are all feelings of particular person. So this motivation, that motivate, arises out of a personal feelings of an individual. It's an internal feeling, or it's an internal urge of a particular person. What is the motivation? It is the internal feeling of that particular person. It is the first feature of motivation. Then it produces goal-directed behavior. Motivation, it creates, if a particular person get motivated, means what? He will going to complete, or he will complete the task, or he will reach the goal. It is a goal-directed example, in an organization, a particular person is promoted. We promoted management promoted particular person from a departmental heads to manager. What happens? He gets motivated. He gets motivated and he will work more efficiently. Why? Because he got promotion there. He got promotion there. What will be his behavior? His behavior will be, now he will think that I have to complete a task, or I have to reach the organization goals, and I have to make my senior employees happy, because they have to feel that yes, we have given a promotion for this particular person, yes, he deserved for that promotion. Such kind of feelings they should get, so that I should work more efficiently, I have to reach the goals. So what happens? So motivation, it produces the goal directed behavior. When a person gets motivated, his behavior will change. It will change positively in order to he will move towards the achievement of target or goals. That is the second feature. Then third one, the motivation can be positive or negative. It is not necessary every time motivation can be positive. See, if a motivation, if it is a positive means, we can see in the form of promotion or a good increment, high in salary or higher position, we can see that is a positive motivation. If it's a negative motivation means, what we can see? Then negative motivation means there may be a demotion, or there may be a labor turnover, or there will not be any kind of increment to that person, or there will not be any kind of incentive to that person. That is a negative kind of motivation. So motivation, it is not necessarily always it should be a positive. It can be positive or it can be negative. There are two kinds of motivation exist in the organization, not only organization, generally in society also. We can see a positive motivation also, we can see a negative kind of motivation also. Then it's a complex process. Yes, it is a complex process. Why we can say that it's a complex process? For example, the individual, the peoples or the employees of the organization, their needs or expectations will be a heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means all the individuals will not be having same kinds of needs or same kinds of expectations. Their needs and their expectations will be different. For example, there are many employees in the organization. The one employee he may be seeking of hike in his salary. He may be seeking of hike in his salary. Or one more, he may be expecting some other incentives other than salary. Incentives like monetary or normal. He may be expecting quarters. He may be expecting organization, if it provide quarters, it will be good. Or any other petrol charges or phone charges if they give, that will be traveling expenses if they give, that may be good. That is other person's incentives. Some other persons may be expecting they should give bonus. Some other people they may be expecting they should give medical expenses. So there will be people's expectations and needs will be different. It will not be same for all the individuals. So people are heterogeneous in their nature, means they are different. They will not be having homogeneous needs or expectations. So organization it cannot provide the person who is expecting high in salary, for him high in salary. Other person who is expecting other incentive, okay, for you will give other incentives. Other person is expecting bonus, okay, for you will give bonus, not other incentives. And other person is expecting medical, okay, for you medical. It cannot, organization can't do so. So what organization can do? It will be doing, or it will provide incentive. Means for all the employees it will provide incentive only. And or else it is providing hike in salary. For all the employees hike in salary only. They cannot go according to each and every individual's expectations and needs. So it's a complex process. So when they go with any one of the motivation technique, means any one of among these, it satisfy or it may motivate some people. It may motivate people who are expecting high in salary. For them it will be a motivation and they may work more efficiently. Other people, they were not expecting hike in salary, they were expecting other things. So it's not a motivational factor for them. So it's a very complex process because all the individual, the people's expectations and needs are in a heterogeneous nature. It is not in a homogeneous nature. All the people's expectations, every people's or every individual's expectations and needs will not be same. So it is quite difficult task to motivate each and every individuals in the organization. I hope you are clear. So we have seen what is the motivation and some of the features. It's a internal feelings of a particular person. Motivation is the internal feeling of a particular person. It produces a goal-directed behavior. If a person gets motivated, it produces a goal-directed behavior. If he gets motivated, he moves towards the achievement of organizational target or goals. Then it can be positive or negative. It is not necessary that motivation, it should be always positive. It can be positive or it can be negative. Then it's a complex process. It's a difficult task to understand the needs and expectations of the individuals and to behave according to that, or to provide motivation according to that. Now further we'll move towards the importance of motivation. Why the motivation is important in a particular organization. Now let first one, to improve the performance. We all know that in order to improve the performance, we have to motivate our employees. For example, what example I have given, we provide promotion to a particular person. What happens? He'll get motivated and he will work more efficiently. What happens when a person work efficiently with his own interest? Somebody else is not forcing him to work efficiently. He got motivated and he is working more efficiently. So what happens? Obviously there will be an increase in his performance. So it helps to improve the performance. Which one helps to improve the performance? Motivation. It helps to improve the performance of the employees of the organization. So that is the first importance of motivation. Then comes, it helps to change the negativity. It helps to change the negativity. What is that? It helps to change the negativity. What happens? Usually the employee's attitude towards the organization, sometimes it is a negative, it will be in a negative way. They will be having a negative attitude towards, it may be towards the goals of the organization, or towards it may be a targets or achievement, or towards work of that particular organization, or what work they are doing, towards that they may be having the negative feeling. So in order to convert that negative, or in order to change that negative attitude towards their work or workplace, they can convert into positive way. That is because of motivation. We have to reward them properly. We have to reward our employees properly. We have to recognize them properly. What happens if we reward them properly? Then their attitude will change. If they are having negative attitude towards their work, it will be converted into positive attitude. By rewarding them properly, we can change the attitude of the workers. What is that rewarding? Rewarding is one of the factors of motivation. It is one of the way of motivating the employees. If we reward them properly, their attitude will change. So motivation, it helps to convert the negative attitude, or it helps to change the negative attitude into positive of employees if they are having any kind of negative attitude towards their work and organization. To reduce employee turnover. When employees will turn into other organization. Employee turnover means what? They are leaving one particular organization and moving into other organization. Why they move to other organization? Because where they are working, they are not satisfied. It may be with their work, or it may be with their salary, or it may be with their incentives, or it may be with their boss. There may be so many the factors. At the end, employees should have a personal satisfaction, or they should in a workplace, they should get motivated to. They should be having some of the motivation to work. So if they do not get that, there will be a labor turnover. What happens? Labor turnover is one of the biggest problem. What happens if some laborers, if they move to other organization, then we have to recruit some other person. When we need to recruit some other person, there will be so many expenses includes. The cost includes for the organization, and after recruiting them, we have to provide with training. We have to provide training to them. So when they come to our actual workplace to work, there will be so many costs associated with it. When we not to recruit a new employee. So it is always better to maintain our existing employees in a good way, because it saves some of the energies and cost of the organization. So what we have to do? We have to provide them the proper incentives. We have to satisfy their needs. We have to satisfy the needs of the employees as much as possible. If we satisfy the needs of the employees, we can reduce the labor turnover in the organization. If in an organization, labor turnover if it is reduced, then it saves the cost and also energy of that particular organization or the people who are responsible for it. Next one, to reduce absenteeism. Why people will be absenteeism? If the working condition of that organization, if it is not good. What is that working condition? Working condition might be they may not be having good relationship with their supervision or manager, or their colleagues are not supporting to them, or the working condition where their facilities are not proper, facilities are not cooperating to their work. So employees will not feel they will not feel to go to their workplace. They will be absent there. So if employees if they are absent for the particular work or in a particular day, means it will cause some of the problems to the organization, and it will cause loss to that particular organization also. So in order to reduce absenteeism, what they have to do? Again, they have to provide good working condition to the employees. What happens if they provide good working condition to the employees? They will get motivated there. They feel like that yes, we need to go to organization or office regularly. We have to complete our task. So it is one of the importance of motivation. What can happen? There will not be absenteeism in the workplace. There will not be absenteeism in the workplace. The work of that particular organization can run smoothly if there is no absenteeism. Then last one, to introduce change smoothly. It is very important factor always in organization. When organization introduces some new techniques or new working environment or new working condition or anything, when new boss or whatever it is, when a particular organization introduces something new, initially what happens? Employees will resist. They will not be ready to accept the change. Everyone, it's a human tendency. We are not ready to accept the change immediately. We will not be ready. So it is a duty of the person who is responsible for motivation. He may be the supervisor. What he has to do? He has to convince his employees why this change is essential, why it is necessary. If he introduces this change in this particular organization, what benefit can get organization, what benefit it can get, or what benefit employees can get. It might be a new technology or new machines they may be introducing. What is the use of this machine? Why we are introducing this? It reduces the cost, or it saves the power, or it saves the work of particular employees. So he has to convince his employees why we are introducing. Then it is a duty of that person. If they have to get convinced, means it is a duty of him. He has to motivate them. He has to convince them. Yes, if they get convinced, then it is easy for that organization to introduce any kind of changes. In that organization. For that, motivation is very essential. We have to motivate our employees why this change is necessary in this particular organization. So this is about importance. The first one, to improve the performance of the organization, to help to change the negative aspects towards the positivity. Then to reduce the employee turnover, to reduce the absenteeism, and to introduce change smoothly. So, in today's class, we discussed about the meaning of motivation, features, and importance. See, we are taking small topics so that you can be thorough clearly. Today we have discussed only features and importance, and in tomorrow's class we will discuss about there is a theory in case of motivation, Maslow's need hierarchical theory. About that theory we will discuss tomorrow, and also as I said, incentives, financial incentives and non-financial incentives are there. About that we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. With this we can wind up with today's class. You have to please go through the features and also importance of motivation, and these features and all, these are not in a point where they have not given a points over there. They have given an explanation. I have derived a points from that explanation. If you want, you can take it down, but when you write in the exam, you have to give their explanation. This is for your understanding. You can take these points. When you read these points, you need to understand what explanation, what was the first point. You can write. So take these points. It may be helpful for you. So with this, we can wind up with today's class.